Hey guys, me like Big Boom here, and welcome to Unturned 3.10.7. Today's update was a major one in that it adds a feature that we've never had in Unturned before. Now it has been talked about on Trello and we've expected it to come out, but today it's been added in the game. We can actually use the feature and it's pretty sweet. In today's update, fishing was added. We can now wait on the shore, look at the nice view, cast a line, and wait for a fish to bite. As long as the water is deeper than 4 meters, it is a valid place for fish to swim, and you'll be able to catch those fish, salmon and trout currently, cook them on a campfire, and of course, eat them. Aside from the fishing poles themselves, we've also had some fishing clothes added in today's update. Fishing bottoms, tops, and a hat to get yourself in the mood for fishing. No, it does not help out your chances of catching a fish, but it does make you look a little bit more fitting. I'll just slowly turn him around real quick. I do have a travel pack on so I can hold the fish that we're going to catch. I pretty much have enough room in itself, but whatever. Currently there are 4 fishing poles in the game. 3 of them are craftable, the of course maple, pine, and birch fishing rods, but you can also get a regular manufactured fishing rod, and this you cannot craft. You have to find it in different locations. Now of course the makeshift ones are going to be a lot worse at catching fish than the manufactured one, but of course you can craft the makeshift ones. I'll put the crafting recipes of these 3 different fishing rods on the screen right now, but when we're actually fishing here, to save ourselves some time, we're going to be using the best one, the fishing rod. Now when you equip it, it behaves like an item or kind of like food. It doesn't equip it in the number 1 or 2 weapon slot. It's just a fishing rod. You aren't going to be able to use it for any sort of weapon. Or maybe you could. I don't know. Doubtful. Now if you'd like to catch your fish, make sure that you're casting a line further out into the water. Make sure it's deeper than 4 meters. I mean, that's why I built this dock, so I can get easier access to it. And so, I mean, in all honesty, I think if I just do it here, we should be pretty good. And from here, you really do just wait. Just like in real life, you just wait. Now when I do catch a fish, I'm going to show you guys what happens when the bobber starts bobbing up and down. And I'm also going to put on the screen when that happens, how long I had to wait for that to happen. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Alright, so you can see that the fish that you catch is very, very violent. It starts bobbing up and down, bubbles start flying, splashing noises happens, and then the bobber goes way down underneath the water. And at that point, of course, you're going to have to left click and reel it in and take in the fish. In this instance, I got a raw trout, but there are 2 different fishes in the game. Fishes? Or is it fish? 2 different kinds of fish in the game, trout and salmon. In the skills menu, if you have your fishing skill higher than nothing, you will have a better chance of it taking less time to catch a fish. So now that I have my fishing skill on max, whereas before it was on 2, I might be able to catch it faster, but it's luck based, so we aren't really able to get a more consistent reading out of this, but I'll still cast a line here, hope that I catch a salmon this time, and I'll show you guys how long it takes. Oh, there we go. And I mean, it felt about the same amount of time, maybe a little bit less. I'd say maybe 5 seconds less. But essentially, it's luck-based, and having your fishing skill higher gives you better chances of catching a fish quicker. And it looks like in this instance, we did get a salmon, so sweet. I can show you guys both examples of cooking the 2 different kinds of fish in the game. Perhaps in the future, we might get more kinds of fish, maybe like sharks or something that you can get in super deep waters. But I doubt you'd be able to get that with a regular fishing pole. But I don't know. The options are out there to have the chance of getting different kinds of fish. So after you've caught a good day's worth of fish, you can go on over to a campfire and you can begin to cook the fish. Now in order to cook your fish and skin them, or whatever they call them, I think it's like fillet or something. Anyway, in order to do that, you need to have your cooking skill on at least 1, which will cost 10 experience, and it will pop up in the supplies category of your crafting tab. As long as you're near an active campfire, you'll be able to turn the raw salmon and raw trout into cooked salmon and cooked trout. You'll be able to eat these, and because my hunger and thirst aren't low enough for me to show you the values, I'll just put the values on the screen right now. So it looks like the salmon is whatever that much, and the trout is, well, this much. Very nice. I mean, that pretty much is everything in terms of fishing so far. Some other things that were added in today's update was a feature that made it to where joining a server that had custom workshop content, you would download it, but it would be deleted afterwards, so it's kind of temporary. This is to reduce confusion because sometimes people are downloading mods that they aren't aware of by joining a server, and then when they go into single player, they'll find out about the mod, and then they think that it's an actual feature in the game that they've never heard of. For example, I've had some people comment that there was like Spetsnaz clothing that you could dye your clothes and make them differently colored and stuff, and that I needed to do a video on it, whereas actually that's a mod that they downloaded by just simply joining a server, and then they found out about it in single player. Now that's no longer going to happen. If you join a server, it will just temporarily download it, and you'll still be able to enjoy the mods that that server has downloaded, and there won't be confusion involved. And if you'd like to download it yourself for single player, then you can go on the workshop and subscribe to it, of course. Some minor things worth mentioning: the multiplayer zombie spawn rate has been tweaked a little bit lower, so that should help the whole thing with zombies spawning right in front of you on multiplayer servers, and also just respawn systems as a whole in multiplayer has been tweaked as well. There were also tons and tons of fixes and some other improvements and tweaks, but if you guys would like to check those out, I will put the full update post in the description down below. And that should pretty much cover everything in the Unturned 3.10.7.0 update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish, because Me Like Big Boom is out.